Hello fellow pilots and welcome to the 2017 Burning Man Airspace video. This is our third installment and it's a quick way to help people get familiar with our flight patterns. This particular video shows patterns for the prevailing winds. Okay, let's begin. First, let's talk about what we're looking at. The red pentagon is the no-fly zone over the event. Please don't go in there. The black strips south of the pentagon are the two runways, one for landings, one for takeoffs. Green paths are inbound flights, orange paths are departures including scenic tour routes, and the purple flight path is for ultralight operations. And again, these procedures are for the prevailing winds. I've got another video for alternate winds. Okay, so this is pretty well organized, right? What could go wrong? Well, when you take away all the imaginary lines, it gets confusing pretty quickly. And no exaggeration here, this is a to scale, fully accurate representation of historical peak traffic. There are planes going everywhere. Let's start on the approach from Gerlach. Here, we begin our descent to 7,000. Slow GA planes fly to the left or north of the railroad tracks, and faster traffic stay to the right or south of the tracks. There's some big charter planes out there this year, so keep an eye out. Your first inbound decision point is, do I want to go around the scenic pattern before landing, or do I want to go direct? If scenic, continue at 7,000 and head for point 1 on the pentagon. In this tour, we're going to fly direct. GA pilots, as you come up the railroad, establish yourself in the downwind and descend to 5,000. Since the runway is 6,000 feet long, you can turn base in line with the numbers in chevron at the approach end of the runway, then turn final over the numbers for a midfield touchdown, which will be marked with green cones. However, if you want to extend your downwind a bit, that's fine, just don't go too far. Charter pilots, continue down the south side of the tracks and descend to 5,500. Turn base a little after you reach Razorback Mountain. And keep an eye out for GA pilots passing below you at 5,000 coming from behind Razorback. All pilots, remember to announce your position as you progress inbound. Say things like Red Cessna and not your tail number because nobody can read that. And please, no overly long downwinds. Anything longer than 2 miles and you'll be up close and personal with pilots exiting the scenic pattern. All right, I'll take a moment here and give you some close-ups. Remember, pattern altitude is 5,000 for GA, 5,500 for faster or charter planes. Now, pretty straightforward. You fly the runway heading until you climb to 4,500, at which point you turn slightly left so that you're flying down the middle of the valley. Remember, playa elevation changes, but it's roughly 4,000. After you've flown 3 miles at 4,500, either climb to your desired altitude and get out of here on course, or make a right turn back to the scenic pattern. Here we're going to fly the scenic. Climb to 5,500 if you're under 100 knots, or to 6,000 if you're over 100 knots, and enter the scenic pattern at point 1 of the pentagon. Remember, inbound scenic pilots will be above you at 7,000. Okay, quick pattern recap. 1. Fly clockwise or incur governmental wrath. 2. When entering, announce your entrance and look for others already in the pattern. They're going to be on your right. If you're an ultralight, you can only fly from the ultralight area to point 1, then to point 3, where you have to make a U-turn and fly back to point 1. This is punishment for having the coolest aircraft that the rest of us secretly covet, but it also keeps you clear of boring faster airplanes. So remember, under 100 knots, 5,500. Over 100 knots, 6,000. Inbound, 7,000. Now you can fly around the scenic pattern as many times as you like. Just check in at point 5 each time. When you want to depart the pattern, only do that at point 3 and descend to 5,000 while proceeding around the back of Razorback Mountain. Traffic at 6,000 and 7,000, swing a bit wide so you don't descend on the lower traffic. And if you're inbound from the east, you can join the scenic flow here and proceed inbound for landing. Now as you come back towards the event, remember, look left for charter flights at 5,500 And stick that gauge at 5,000, please. Right here, this is the most critical conversion traffic point. And finally, proceed to join the base for 23 left. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. And remember, this map is fully interactive online at 88nv3d.com, where you can explore any aspect of the airspace in more detail. And there's even a virtual flyby, which of course is not even close to permitted in real life. So be sure to enjoy it.